We had a rematch, Johnny Fischer versus David Allen, heavyweights. Now, we were at the first fight in Saudi Arabia, very controversial ending, a fight that I thought that Allen won handily. Went to the scorecards, and he was robbed by making it a draw. Only 5 months ago, we get the rematch. Both guys a little bit heavier this time around, but an eerily similar result. Now, I thought the first fight, Fischer, a former rugby player, was just big, strong, tough, rugged. He was trying to bring it to Allen, and when that didn't work, he started to gas. Things turned the other way. This time, I thought he was trying to use his size and box more on the outside, but the pressure of Allen still got to him, and he started to gas. And then here comes the fifth round in the first fight. This is the round that Fischer was dropped and knocked down in. Well, this time around, this is the round that Allen stops the fight in. He drops Fischer, hurts him. Fischer gets up, shows a lot of heart. And then Allen, with a big left hook, finishes him as the towel was coming in to stop the fight. Fifth round knockout for Allen. What'd you make of this fight in the heavyweight clash?
Listen, these guys aren't going to fight for the heavyweight title anytime soon. But that doesn't mean they don't get their day. They don't get their moment. Especially when you're fighting in a local venue, you're fighting in a country where you come from, over in England, where the fans support you and they support fighters. These both guys are fighters. Again, they're not going to win world titles, but they're both fighters. And they both gave their all. And Allen is just the prototypical journeyman. You know, he's got like 7 losses, 4 times he's been stopped. Every time he's moved up, really, if you're going to be fair about it, I love the guy. But every time that he's moved up in competition to that, to that level that really you have to get to if you're going to do anything big in the sport, make money and do something big in the sport, he's lost. And that's what really accounts for the fights where he's been stopped. He's a journeyman. He looked like a journeyman. He had his cup up high. I mean, you got to love the guy. Really, he had his cup up high. He didn't want nobody hitting him. It was higher than it should have been. Trying to get away with whatever he could get away with. That's experience. That's being a journeyman. That's being smart. That's having gloves will travel. That's what he looks like. A guy that, he gets the phone call, he's got the bag ready, he goes. I mean, you need guys like that. You need guys like that for the top fighters to fight on their way up, to get to that place. Without them, you don't have a sport. You need guys like that. And also, you need to be reminded of how the Rocky movie came. That it came all about somebody having a dream. You still have to have guys that are dreaming about being the champ. Guys that are still out there, whether or not they quite have the talent, they're still out there giving their all, saying, I want to be champ. I want a chance at the big bite. I want to bite at the apple. I want a chance, to get in there and do the impossible. To dream, to dream, to have other people reminded that you do dream, that you do aspire to be great. And that's all that matters, that you give it your best, that you try, that you go out there and you don't say, I can't make it. No, you go out there and you put yourself in there and you give it the best you can and you come up short at the next level. You're not quite that. But you still went in that arena and heard the crowd. There's something to be said about that. You still got in that arena. What was that great saying by one of the great statesmen? I don't know if it was from England, who it was, one of the great statesmen, the man who could go into the arena and fight the fight and hear the crowd and know that he gave it his all. That is the man that you want on your side. That's Allen. And give Fischer credit. Fischer, he wanted this rematch. Allen, being such a journeyman and so much experience, He's too developed, he's too experienced for Fischer. We saw Fischer, big rugby player. You described it right. Big, tough guy, showed a lot of heart in that first fight. I thought Allen got robbed. But Fischer was undefeated. They were protecting the undefeated guy. They were hoping that they could get him to a payday. They were hoping they could develop. He was the promoter's fighter. And I thought he got a gift. But in a way, he earned the gift. He got dropped in the 5th round over in Saudi. That's what makes this fight so almost surreal. That the same round, but this time Allen didn't let it go to the judges, as they say. When he had the guy hurt, he finished him. He said, I'm not letting it go to the judges. People say that, but they don't back it up. He really backed it up. But in that first fight, even though I thought Fischer got a gift, he earned the gift by the heart, by the toughness, coming off the floor in the 5th round and getting better in the late rounds. He won some of those, he won the early rounds, and then he started to get banged around. He got dropped in the 5th. He started to get banged around in the late rounds, but he survived the late rounds after winning the early ones. He got a lead, and then he lost the late rounds, but he hung in, and he fought back even late in the fight when he was taking a lot of punishment. He showed a lot of heart, but he showed that he was very raw. I remember saying to you, this guy's raw. He's got to be taught. I mean, he's not ready yet. He's like pulling something out of the oven. You look at, nope, put it back. Ain't ready. And it was so evident that, he leaves his jab out there. Yeah, as people say he's big, he's got a good jab. I heard the commentators in England yesterday talking like they're trying to figure something out. They're trying to figure out some argument they can make that he's going somewhere. And listen, just shoot it straight. He's too raw. He's too green. He's a rugby player. Tough as hell. Yeah, give him more time, but he ain't ready. Yeah, did he show heart? Did he show yeah, but he also showed how raw and green he was and unprepared he was in so many areas. Saying, he's got a good jab. He leaves his jab out there like the Statue of Liberty. You don't leave your jab out there. If the Statue of Liberty did it, they take the torch off of it. But in this case, Mr. Allen banged him a right hand because he leaves it out there. Again, I was loving the commentary at the end when they were doing the post-fight stuff, trying to make an argument, and one of them says, this drives me nuts, but what the hell does this mean? He says, but yeah, he was too, maybe he should go back to being on the back foot. What? I'm sorry, I'm not, but maybe he should go back to being more on the back foot, where before he was on the front foot. Front foot, back foot. How about he just gets taught more? How about he's just not prepared generally? Back foot, front foot. What are we doing here? Trying to sound like we're making some kind of salad here? Some kind of word salad? It ain't going to help the fighter in the ring. It ain't real. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and
who said
it's
ridiculous? It was in The Godfather. And I don't want to be made to look ridiculous. The guy, the big shot movie guy. But look, to finish up on it, Bud, and then I'll let you just take it. I'm sorry. But just to finish up on it, experience matters. As much as Allen is not ready for the top guys, he is still far, far ahead of a Fischer. Because he's been in there, because he's been around, because even because I'm going to say something that's going to sound a little funny, because he even knows what he's not. He knows what he's not, but he knows what he is. And he recognizes when another guy isn't. He recognizes that like a lion in the prairie, in a safari, that recognizes a gazelle that's staggering away from the pack, right away and says, that gazelle is my next meal. That gazelle is not protected. That gazelle is ready to be eaten. That's what an Allen, that's what the experience, that's what fighting all those fights, being a journeyman does. He recognized right away that Fischer, where he's missing things, where he's just not ready. Right away, he was like the lion just waiting for that next meal. He even knew he could go 8 pounds up. He looked a little sloppy. He looked a little heavy. Let's be honest. We call it straight here. He looked a little chunky in the belly, but it didn't matter because he knew what he had in front of him. He knew what he wasn't because he recognizes in himself that he ain't a certain level to go to that, but he knows he's a level that can compete. And Allen, Fischer is not. He's just not. Maybe one day he will be, but he's not. And to talk about an honest fighter, how can you not root for this guy, Allen? How humble he is, how honest, how straightforward. He told Fischer, this should be talked about even more. He told Fischer, he said, look, you're not ready for the rematch. Don't take it. You're a good bloke. You're a good fella, mate. He's a respectful, good guy. He said, don't take it. You're not ready for it. I'll knock you out again. But
you just took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly right. He is a guy you have to root for, Allen. And it was genuine. He wants the payday. He wants the rematch, but he was saying it as a friend because they are good friends. Sincere and genuine that this isn't good for your career. You need to develop more. You need to have some more fights. I will knock you out the next time. And he did it. And to your point, Fischer only 9 or 10 amateur fights going in. He just didn't have the experience of Allen. Allen, although he's come short, he's been in there with Dillian White. He's been in there versus Luis Ortiz. He's been in there versus David Price, the former Olympian. So it showed. I think you nailed it. And I root for both of these guys. Fischer, I know he got a late start. He's still only 26. But what a tough, hard-fighting, honest fighter. And you nailed Allen. How could you not root for that guy and the way he handles himself before and after the fight?